so good to be back on stage and to see the fans again. I mean, it completely matched my expectations to be back on green. I think actually it surpassed it a little bit. The basic idea behind the stage design this year was to do something different, something that we haven't touched on before. And it was just so good to be back. And I've been working a lot with different colors, something that really pops. So something that was completely blue and looked different from what we've done before. And then something that also artistically looked very different. I wanted something very robust, something big on stage that really would pop for the fans when they're standing on the ground looking at the stage. I wanted something that could be enough just like that, without the light, without the lamps, without the CO2 and the fire and all that. Something that could just work as like a scenography. And one of the most important things to me is that from the fans' perspective and from the audience, you can see whether you like the music or not. You can just see these guys are having the time of their life, because we really are. And that's the most important thing, that people can sort of see how much fun we're really having. So it has to be the right environment and the right stage and the right feel. And I think we really nailed that. It was kind of weird releasing an album in the middle of a pandemic and not being able to be out there and perform these songs live. So actually now, 8 or 9 months later after the release of this album, I get to see the fans react to these songs and sing along and clap along to these songs for the first time, which is kind of surreal, but awesome, because it's not until you stand in front of a crowd you realize how big of a song it actually was. And I keep thinking about one of the last songs that I released called Fall So Hard, a song that I wrote for my daughter, and a song that I haven't had the chance to play live that many times. And it's the last song of the set, and it has this really easy sing-alongable part that's like ha 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 ha. Not that fast, but it's so awesome to play that as the very last song, and everybody's just singing along. And it was just a real moment for me, realizing this song that meant so much to me is now a part of people's life, and maybe will be a like eternal memory for some of them. It definitely will be for me, playing that song live at these shows, which was something really special, and telling that story before we started playing it. And that goes for all the songs, that goes for the entire album. Unfortunately, we haven't had time to play all the songs from the album, but the most important and the most personal songs we've been playing for the crowds for the first time, and it was just bananas, absolutely bananas. I mean, being back with the band is another thing that I've just missed so much, being back on the road, driving through Denmark, seeing all these small provinces and the bigger cities in Denmark, and meeting the fans from all over the country. I've just missed that so much. So, I mean, yeah, it's so good to be back. I'm in the process of making an entire new album, and I'm pretty far in the process, I would say, but I also know that creating an album and writing songs, I've been through this process 5 times now, and I know it's just a roller coaster experience. 1 week you leave the studio and you're like, this is gonna be the best album ever, and the next week it's like, it's shit. All the songs are shit, I'm shit, it's never gonna be any good. So I'm over that phase now, and I'm entering like the finalizing stage and the process where you really go into details with the lyrics and the melodies, and you just perfect everything. And that feels really good. It feels like it's gonna be the best album I've ever created. And I feel like the pandemic, and also me being a father now for the first time, there's been a lot of stuff for me to get off my chest, and I've just felt very inspired and motivated, and I felt like this is a new chapter in this book I'm writing, and yeah, this album is going to be a part of that new chapter. So I'm really excited about it. It's very different, it sticks out a little bit, but again, talking about live music and being on stage, can't wait to get out there and play these songs live.